Hey, what's going on, y'all? So, this is a topic we hadn't talked about in a while, but I'm forced to revisit it because the young lady I was talking to just got in touch with me this year. It had been years since we spoke. But anyway, so I just wanted to talk about, I know it's a important topic and it is a question that a lot of people want to talk about is relationships. And I just want to ask you what I learned in my perspective. And that's the interesting thing. Is like I talked about a lot of these things prior to getting in it, and I still fumbled in it. And here's what I'm talking about. This is what is important for you guys to understand with regards to the women. And I'll fill in other gaps where I can, but I'm a man and I'm talking about the woman at home and my evaluation. Some input from her, and I'll explain why, not all input. All right. So for me, I think it's very important to understand, like, especially if you come from generations of truckers, that for you, this might seem normal. But for the young lady, especially if you wasn't in trucking when y'all started dating, or if she never dated someone in trucking or her family isn't a trucking family, then it's new. And for someone to be gone and his unpredictable schedule in most cases, and even if you think it's predictable and you try to say, well, I'll be home X, Y, Z, and then it's interrupted, you'll understand that it's not predictable to a great degree. It's a shock. And so I think that we have to remember to take serious when you hear, be listening for discontent and desires for you to be at home. And even if there's not a big deal made about that, the fact that it's mentioned and brought up, it could be a big deal. And like in my case, I think the only reason, like, okay, so, and especially if like you've given a time frame or a date and for whatever reason that didn't happen, you need to be very, very intentional about finding out the impact on her, because I was intentional and asked about it, but it got dismissed. And so this is what I mentioned earlier. I think the reason that she didn't make a big deal out of it is just because what happened is after the first time we met during the middle of the year, I said by the end of the year, I'm getting out of trucking. The end of the year came, economy it was okay, but I wanted to go a little bit longer because I wanted to make some moves and I wanted to have that trucking income to make it easy to get a loan from the bank to get a bigger property. So I didn't want to let it go yet. And I wanted to invest a lot of the money that I was making into stocks because I still figured that it was a unique opportunity with AI and VI and electric vehicles and all of that, even though by that time I had lost a lot of money in electric vehicles and everything, but I still wanted to go into VR. Did I say VI? I meant VR and AR and AI, but well, mostly VR and AR at that time. But, so it wasn't a big deal made. I was like, hey, okay. And I can only notice a very little bit of possibly associated disappointment. But by the next year rolled around, it was the same thing. I couldn't get out at the time because too many things were going on. And now I done spent a whole bunch of money to rehab my property that I already had. I don't actually lost a lot of money in the market because the first time I was up 70%, but now to 70 to 100%, depending on what stock you're talking about. But by the time 22 came around, man, there's no way I could stop driving then, And so this time through the year, it was very easily noticeable change in attitude. And I mean, you could just see that it was going downhill. You can see that there was a lack of attention, lack of interest in resolving issues. You could tell. Ladies, if there's a guy who is serious about you and he's trying to resolve issues and get to the bottom of things, he can tell a change in your attitude and everything. So there's no need of trying to run some kind of game or hold on to it. Might as well just say, I'm losing, I've lost interest, I want to move on, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's a better way of ending it than to try to drag it on, let's say, as opposed to playing games. But anyway, so that's what you got to think about, guys, when you're on the road and a woman back at home. And you got to remember that there are usually women talking into her ear, all of this negativity, this, that, the other about truckers. And that's going to be a major influence depending on the women. You got to take into account the personality of the woman that you're with as well. And the actual logistics, the needs. My woman was very independent, even though, she was very independent. And the fact that she at first liked to spend a lot of time together. When I get home, she wanted me to take her here, take it there, do this, do that, the other, as soon as I get home. So that should have been a message to me. I didn't mind doing it. I love doing it. I like doing that kind of stuff. But the point is, well, if that's how she is, then she probably is the type of woman that like to spend a lot of time with the guy. So being gone for weeks at a time, and she's mentioned it, and then only being home for a day or 2 days, I'm trying to invest. So, and you don't know. Had a ping pong club, so I'm spending time there and everything as well. So anyway, and if only she had said, see, I'm not the type of guy who I take responsibility for my decision like I am now. So had I spent less time on the road or came off the road, if she would have told me how big of a deal it was I would never be in resentment toward her about it. And I would never hold that against her for me making that decision. But what can I say? All I say is you live and you learn, and you just move better moving forward. But I mean, that's one of the factors in how come I went ahead and stopped driving, because I don't want, next time I meet a young lady, I don't want to be on the road and having to stop. I need to have all that done, And then the other things that I like to get into. And then with AI and all that, and you pass by the opportunities of these things that's going on with technology. You can't catch up with it later. You either jump in it, get into it, and use it as a tool when it's there, or you miss that opportunity to do so. And so anyway, here are the things. So now I'm going to let you just look at the videos that I put together with AI. And they're based on pages on the website, lifeisatrucker.com, which talking about the impact of trucking on the family. And then there's another page talking about nurturing relationships. So that's exactly where the video comes from. And if you want to check it out, then it's called Pictory.ai, where you can just put in a link to your content, your page, and it will generate a video based on those pages on your website or your blog. Kind of cool. So anyway, y'all, here is the video. Let me know what you think. And if you have a story about your relationship, share it with us. So especially if there's something that we haven't covered, so that people can learn from it and move better and have better relationships. All right. Peace. So in other words, what I'm saying is, don't just listen to her words and don't assume. I thought that she had reached a level of personal growth that she would communicate with me. It was wishful thinking. I could see the evidence, but yet when she said, no, everything is good, everything is cool, I went the easy route and just accepting it instead of insisting that she talk about it. And here's the other part, which I finally did do. When you see that things are not right and she won't talk about it, guys, the better thing to do is just walk away. And that's what I finally ended up doing, but I held on for a year, longer than I should have. When I first started seeing the signs and recognizing the pattern, because the first time you might be mistaken. Second time, it's possible that you're mistaken. Now, this ain't necessarily a pattern. This is just, an event, something is happening, maybe something even outside the relationship. And she's decided to solve it on her own, which is not ideal when something is bothering you and the other person can see it. But I was like, okay. But third time, fourth time, the omnipresence of that funk, no, don't hang around. It's time to go. So that's the other bit of advice that I would give to you. When you see the signs, you are basically confident that this is a pattern that you've recognized. Don't let it get away with it. You either talk about it and we resolve it, or, because that's a reality, a smart woman who is not about playing games and was at least at some point serious, if she got to the point where she don't want to communicate about things that's bothering her or trying to resolve issues, that's telling you something right there. So what are you gaining by holding on? Nothing. You're just losing. It's just inevitable that things are going to deteriorate and get worse. You're better off walking away and giving her the opportunity. Then she see how significant her role is as far as communicating or not. Now, she can choose, I changed my mind. I think I want to keep this relationship. Let's talk about it. Or it continues on the way it was, which tells you made the right move. So just some things to think about and some stuff to put in your head so that if you come face to face with any of these scenarios, it's easy to identify. You, but oh yeah. I've heard about this before. This seems familiar. I don't remember being in this. It seemed familiar because it was spoken before I ever saw it. All right. Wish y'all the best of luck. Take the easy.
Can a trucking family truly thrive when one spouse is always on the road? The answer might surprise you. Raising good kids is challenging even with both parents at home, but a strong relationship and intentional parenting can make it possible. Protecting and nurturing your relationship while you're away is crucial. Give your family 100% of you when you're home. Problems at home can range from issues with kids, spouses, or even bills. Sometimes, it's all of the above. If there are existing problems in your marriage or with your children, fix them before considering a trucking career. Life as a trucker leaves little room for troubled relationships. It takes a special kind of family to handle this lifestyle. Public perception of truckers can be harsh, and your spouse's friends might share those negative views, affecting your relationship. Negativity and doubts can lead to serious issues, including affairs or emotional distance. Communication is key. Cheating, even miles away, affects your behavior and your relationship. Both partners need to be committed and serious. The good news is, with effort and love, your relationship can not only survive but thrive. Treat your spouse with respect and affection. Ever felt the sting of distance in your relationship? Being an OTR trucker can make it even harder, but it doesn't have to be that way. Long hours on the road and irregular schedules can strain personal connections, but with intentional effort, you can keep the love alive. Communication is the bedrock of any relationship, and for OTR truckers, it's even more crucial. Use technology to your advantage. Phone calls and texts are great, but video chats can take it up a notch. Share your experiences, thoughts, and emotions, and actively listen to each other's concerns and stories. Establish clear expectations about communication frequency, availability, and household responsibilities. Clarify your partner's needs for emotional support and reassurance. Don't assume, ask and understand. Make quality time a priority. When you're home, set aside dedicated time to spend together. Engage in activities you both enjoy, have meaningful conversations, and create cherished memories. Surprise your partner and show appreciation. Small gestures can make a big difference. Leave heartfelt notes or send surprise gifts while you're on the road to show you care. Support your partner's independence. Encourage them to pursue their interests and goals. Foster open communication about their aspirations and dreams, and be a source of encouragement. Trust and honesty are essential. Be transparent about your experiences and any challenges you face. Demonstrate trustworthiness by following through on your commitments and being reliable. Remember, it's the consistent investment in the relationship that keeps the connection strong. Send a letter or card once a month with a heartfelt message to show your love. Be mindful in your communication. Praise and acknowledge more than you criticize. Don't be disrespectful or condescending. Communicate disagreements with love and support. Know what your loved one finds attractive about you and work to keep that about you. Express your love in ways that your partner understands and appreciates. Keep the bond strong. This video was produced from Life as a Trucker. com/www.lifeasatrucker.com/nurturing relationships. HTML to read the article. Leave a comment and like if you found the insights useful or garbage.
Now, if y'all watch this video and you're just completely mind blown, you don't want all that drama, you got the exact right feeling about it. So there's another page on the website, and there's a video here, but it's an older video, but the same information applies. Stay single. The stuff that I talk about. Stay single for the first year so that you can learn all that you can, so that you can spend your time learning how to use AI and earn extra recurring income. Then get in a relationship. And then if you need to stop, you can stop because it doesn't matter. It's a seamless transition. It's all about whatever you want to do. That is a better way of doing it. Hey, what's going on, y'all? So this video is sponsored by truckersidehustle.com. That's truckersidehustle.com, your number one place for learning how you can make extra income, recurring income at that, while you're off duty, not driving, for company drivers, owner operators, trucker wives, felons who can't get a trucking job, really for anybody who's just interested in making money while you're not driving. There's a video there. Watch the video, tune in, tap in, see what it's about. Now, if for some reason you're not feeling that, or if you need a better explanation about how it goes down, then go to retirefromtrucking.com, and make a choice from the boxes that's available and get in touch with me that way. Join the inner circle if you want that one-on-one coaching. All right. Good luck.